What's up everyone? Just Jason here. It's Sunday again, so you know what that means. It's time for another chaffle recipe, and we are going to make another stuffed chaffle with the STUFFLER. This week we're going to make a sweet stuffed chaffle. The first two we made were savory versions, so I wanted to try something sweet, and you know what better way to start that off is with a peanut butter and chocolate chip chaffle or stuffed chaffle. So we've got a few ingredients here this week. So we're going to start with 2 large eggs, and then I've got a cup and a third of shredded mozzarella cheese, and then obviously I have some peanut butter here. This is all natural peanut butter with sea salt. I have a tablespoon, well, roughly a tablespoon of cream cheese here. This is going to help make it a little bit creamier kind of thing. I've got some of these Krisda chocolate chips here. They're sweetened with stevia. And then we're going to add some of this Swerve Powdered Sweetener to the egg and cheese mix just to kick up the sweetness. And then we're also going to add, you know, maybe a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So that's pretty much it for the ingredients. Let's get set up and we'll start mixing all of this together. All right, so we've got our 2 eggs partially beaten here in a bowl. We're going to add our cheese, and again, that's a cup and a third of shredded mozzarella cheese. This is basically a double batch of chaffle batter. So take what you would usually make for, you know, 2 regular chaffles and double it is what we need for this stuffed chaffle. So we're going to get that mixed in there. Pretty easy, really quick to just mix that all together. I like to finely chop my shredded cheese just to make it a little bit easier to mix in with the eggs. Sort of just like that. We can add our vanilla in there. And again, this is just to try and sweeten up the actual batter, because the center or the filling of our stuffed chaffle this week is going to be sweet. So we want to try and add to the sweetness on the outside. We're not looking for super eggy kind of waffles on this one. So that's the vanilla mixed in. So now we'll add our powdered Swerve sweetener. And again, we'll just give that a good mix in. And what while I'm doing this, if you haven't checked it out already, and we have a giveaway running at the time of the release of this video. My last video, and I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. We are giving away one of these STUFFLER waffle irons here, brand new in the box. There's a way to enter on the last video, and like I say, as of the release of this video, there will be a few days left to enter that giveaway. So make sure you check it out. You know, and good luck to those that enter the contest. This is a sort of thank you to the community for getting us to 8,000 subscribers. So yeah, best of luck. So we've got our main chaffle batter mixed up here. So we have our cream cheese in a bowl here. Now it's still fairly cool from coming out of the fridge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the microwave just for a few minutes, or not a few minutes, a few seconds. A few minutes would just not be good. So just a few seconds to soften it up a little bit, and then we'll come right back and start putting these ingredients together. Okay, so we put our cream cheese in the microwave for 10 seconds and it softened it up nicely. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this natural peanut butter here. We really don't need that much, you know, nice heaping teaspoon should be plenty. Again, we're only making 1 stuffed chaffle here, so we don't need a lot of mix. Maybe another sort of half teaspoon like that. I'll scrape that off of the spoon like so. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to mix this peanut butter and cream cheese together. This is just going to give us a nice creamy peanut butter filling that we can put in our stuffed chaffle. I've always been a fan of using cream cheese and chaffles, so figured we'd give this a try, see how it turns out. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to put this mix in the fridge for a little bit before we cook the stuffed chaffle, just so that it doesn't get too soft while we're cooking, kind of thing. So as you can see, it's actually kind of dry right now, but that's fine. It'll be just fine. We'll add in like half the chocolate chips first and sort of give that a mix, get those mixed in. We definitely want this to be like a chocolatey mixture, so let's just go ahead and add them all in there. And again, all we're trying to do is make a mix that we can put into the middle of this stuffed chaffle without too much trouble. Sort of just like that. All the chocolate chips are not completely mixed in, but you get the idea. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge, for 15-20 minutes, let it cool off, and we'll come back and we'll start cooking this chaffle. Okay, so we've got our peanut butter and cream cheese and chocolate chip mix here. What I've done actually is I just rolled it up in a ball, because we're just gonna try and flatten this out so that it'll go into the stuffed chaffle easily enough. So I've just got some parchment paper here, and we're just going to sort of smash that down, try and get, somewhat of a circle out of it. Doesn't have to be perfect. This will just make it easier to put into the waffle iron, sort of just like that. So what we'll do is we'll get the STUFFLER warmed up, and we'll put this stuffed chaffle together. Okay, so we've let our Chaffler or STUFFLER, whatever it is, should just call it a Chaffler, stuffed waffle iron here, warm up for about 5 minutes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our chaffle mix here first, and we're going to sort of add half of that into the bottom. Fill up all 4 sections. Like so. Really just want to cover the bottom of the waffle iron like that. And we're just going to give this, 30 seconds to cook a little bit before we put our, peanut butter, cream cheese, and chocolate chip disc into here. We're just trying to let this first layer of the chaffle mix set up a little bit. I can already smell that it's got a nice sweet smell to it, which is what we want out of this mix. Don't be afraid to make sweet chaffles. It really does actually work. You may not think egg and cheese together could be turned into something sweet, but it does actually work out pretty good. So we've got about 30 seconds on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our other mix here, and we're going to put it in the middle like so, and then we're going to cover it with the rest of our chaffle batter here, trying to get around the sides so that it fills in nice, like so. So that's filled up nicely. So we're gonna just close this up here, and then we'll flip it over on its other side so that it can cook evenly. And then we're gonna set a timer for about 7 minutes, and we'll come back and see how it turned out. Okay, so our stuffed chaffle is quite well cooked. It's just kind of soft, so it's having a hard time coming out with the ring that's supposed to lift it out. But if we just lift it up a little bit and get a spatula underneath, we're all good. So we'll set that aside on our wire rack, and we'll come back in a few minutes once it's cooled off a little bit and cut it open, see how it looks. Okay, so now that we have our stuffed waffle out of the STUFFLER, first time I've had a bit of an issue getting it out of the STUFFLER. It is out though, and it didn't fall apart, so I think that's a win. It's cooled off for a few minutes. We're going to try and cut it open, see how the filling turned out here. Just like so. Yeah, so you can see that nice chocolate peanut butter layer in there. It is definitely still warm, probably still too hot to try. So I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes and we'll give it a taste. Okay, so we've got our peanut butter, chocolate chip, and cream cheese stuffed chaffle cut into corners here. As you can see, it's nice and chocolatey in there. The chocolate chips really melted well into that mix. And it's pretty even across all 4 pieces. So this is the part I've been waiting for. Let's give this a try and see how it turned out. Well, I'll definitely tell you right off the bat, it's still way too hot. That was, should have let that cool off a little bit more. But great flavors. You know, you can tell that there's a sweet taste in the chaffle batter itself. The peanut butter and chocolate chips come through well. And then there's a nice creamy taste because of the cream cheese that we put in here. So I'd say overall it was a win of a recipe. Fun to make. Like I say, we're gonna make a lot of different things in this STUFFLER waffle iron. And don't forget to visit the link down below to try and win your own STUFFLER waffle iron so that you can try these fun recipes in your home. Let me know what you thought down below. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing. We do new videos every week and we try and go live on Thursday nights as well. So that's about it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll see you next week for another recipe. Keep on thriving, my friends.